here. Just want to take a moment to welcome you all to my live. Hope you guys will find the time to, tune in and, have a nice little talk with me as I go along in my live. Yeah. Yeah, people. Well, as you all know, I've posted 2 videos already today about the weather. We're having the rain, 2 days worth of rain now, and the rain has been falling from early this morning. Started around 7, yeah. And it's going on right now all day. And the weather report said it won't be ending until 3 a.m. later on. Yeah, so I'm just inside, I came home from work and I just decided I'm going to stay home. I wanted us to go wash my Black Beauty from the other day, but because of the snow and the rain, I can't do that. But hopefully tomorrow, if there is no rain, I can get it, properly washed and things. So yeah, my people, I'm here, I want to talk about something that I notice about cars. The cars we have so many modern cars nowadays. Cars can, practically speak to us. Yes, the way they're making cars now with all this technology, cars can, almost physically speak to us, tell us what to do on the road, tell us what is wrong, and, everything. It has so much technology. Cars have so much technology now. But I don't know if you people will agree with me on this. One thing I observe and I think should be, the law. Yeah. The government should make it the law for all car manufacturers to, this is my opinion, this is what I believe, And I know it can be done because we have so much technology in cars now. I think all cars that are made now, modern cars that are made now, should be made with at least 5 cameras on that car, on each car. One in the middle of the car, like in the center where, you can see everything in, with the front passenger and the driver and all the occupants in the back. Because, because to me, if we have cameras like that, in cars, it will go a far way to, prevent the E-shed, the C-shed stuff when cops pull you over. Because some cops pull you over and they come at you, with all sort of aggressiveness and disrespect, and they go about telling lies on you. Sometimes they find all sorts of little stuff to escalate the situation, and then when you check it out, they end up, unaliving some drivers and things like that, So I think that all cars, the government should make it mandatory that all cars be made with 5 cameras. One in the center where, between the driver's seat and the passenger, the front passenger right there, where you can see everything that goes on in the car. And that technology should be made wherein if a cop pull you over and you're not feeling safe with that cop, you can just hit a button and that interaction goes straight to the internet immediately. So the whole world can see what is transpiring between you and that officer. It will be good for the officers too. It will be good for the drivers too, because sometimes you have drivers on the road who have no respect for the law. And when an officer pull them over, he or she, they tends to be very disrespectful, and they behave a certain type of way, and then they start to blame the officer that the officer was the one who, approached them with aggressiveness and things like that. And in some cases, the officers, they too have no manners, no respect. You know what I mean? Because they believe because they're an officer of the law and they have a gun, they can just come out on the street and talk to you anyhow you feel like. Yeah. And that technology in the car should also, you can link to your phone. So it is very easy for you to download the footage. Now, when I say the camera now, at least 5 cameras, one inside the middle of on the roof of the car that can see everything, one on both sides outside, one in the front, and one in the back. So whenever a driver run in your back, the he said, she said thing is over. If a driver sideswipe you, you can, that footage is also captured. If a driver run into you from in front of you, that footage is also captured. So the he said, she said thing, it will be a thing of the past. Drivers telling lies on officers, it's a thing of the past. Officers telling lies on drivers, it's a thing of the past. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that would go a far way to solve a lot of crime and a he said, she said thing. But I mean, I think that the government, I think they think of it, but they don't want to do it because they're making a lot of money out of this car stuff. They make a lot of money, millions and billions of dollars out of traffic stop and all those sort of stuff, all sort of infraction on the road. But if they are serious about solving, crime of those, people who break the law of those magnitude, I think that every modern car should have at least 5 cameras. You have people who eat your car and run away. You have people who eat your car and when the cops come, they be telling pure lies when they are wrong. So that kind of a coverage would wipe away all those sort of stuff because cameras don't lie. That's what I believe. I believe that, modern cars should have those kind of technology. I mean, you have cars with backup camera and things like that, but you want cameras in it to take everything that goes on in and around the car. When you're stopped by a officer or when you're, approaching red lights and things like that, when other drivers are driving aggressively and hit your car and try to run away, those license plates will be captured, whether from the side or from the back or from the front. So my people, tell me what you think about that, if you think that is a good idea. I mean, I know some of them will come and talk about invasion of privacy. But if you're serious about crime, if you want to stop crime, if you want to stop wrongdoing, that is the way to go. We are in the modern age now. I think all cars should have that kind of technology. If it even costs us a little extra to buy cars like that, we'll pay for it because, we want the safety while we're on the road. Safety, from other drivers who are aggressive. Safety from police officers who, believe that they're above the law and they can, do anything they feel like to citizens. I think that is a good idea. Tell me what you all think, if you think it's a good idea for all cars to have that kind of technology, And then you have people, they get into accident and they tell all sorts of lies and, because when they eat your car and they tell lies and they run away, your insurance gets high. Sometimes you don't get any compensation from the insurance because the other person run away or the other person is telling lies and things like that. So that's why I think that modern cars should be equipped with that technology. 5 cameras, one in the center of the roof that can see everything that goes on. Right, where the driver's seat is. You have that space between the driver's seat and the back seat right there. So you can capture everything that goes on in the front and in the back. One on both sides outside, one in the front, one in the back. That would kill all the he said, she said stuff. Officers would know that they can't do certain things anymore to you. Some of them, they have their body camera, and when they approach you, they turn it off because they want to do you wrong. If an officer pull you over and you're not feeling safe, you send that interaction to the internet right away. The whole world is watching him right there. But I guess the authorities you know, they don't want to do that because, you know, they're making a lot of money from this car thing. You have millions of cars in this country. In fact, billions, because one man is owning sometimes 100 cars. So the government is feeding off automobile. Yeah. So they wouldn't want to do that because, you know, it would prevent them from making their billions. Yeah. But for the safety of the drivers on the road, the safety of the police on the road, I think that is a great idea. Yeah. So, yeah, my people, tell me what you think about that, you know? Too many times, you know, and then one other thing I would like to point out, I would like to talk about, and I know this one is this is a big one, and this one may, you know, touch base with a lot of people, and now they're going to say it's invasion of privacy. But it was about, I think it was 2 to 3 years ago. This lady was traveling on the road with her young baby boy in the back of her car. And something went wrong, you know, on the road with her and another driver. And then the driver get into a road rage. And he took his gun out and fired bullets in the car and hit the lady, little baby boy, and alive him. And to this day, he has never been found. To this day, no one knows who he was. So what I think, this is another suggestion I think, right? And I want you to tell me how you think about it. I think that, I don't know if when a child is born, when a baby is born, and then when he goes into an adult, he has the same DNA. I don't know, because once I'm not a doctor, I would like somebody to tell me, if when you're born as a baby, and then you grow into an adult, if your DNA does not change. Because if it does not, I think that when it should be mandatory, a law that when a baby, a new human being is born, his or her DNA should be taken right there in the hospital and be posted in the database where anything happen, you can know who that person is. Now the other day, this lady is missing. She named Guthrie. I forgot which state she's from. And they got a DNA around the vicinity where they were searching and things from a glove. And now when they test the DNA and they go to the database, they cannot make a match, because obviously that person's DNA is not in the database. So if you are serious about crime, to solve crime, minimize crime. I mean, you won't stop crime, you know, but you can minimize it. When a human being is born, that DNA should be taken right away and put into a database. So when that person grows up to be an adult and commit a crime and leave his or her DNA on the scene, you can know who that person is. That way you go a far way to solve a lot of crimes. Now this lady is been abducted, and a DNA is left on the scene, and they cannot find who the person is, because obviously that person's DNA is not into the database where they can, you know, where they check for it. I know you people gonna say it's a invasion of privacy and things like that. But if you're serious about crime, these are the measures that we should take. Come on, we're living in the 21st century now, right? For the safety of everyone and for the good of everyone, those are the type of laws I think we should have. Because when people commit crimes and, you know, unalive people, rob people, and, you know, kidnap people and things like that, a lot of us will say they don't want that kind of law. But when it hits their doorstep, that's when they're going to think different. I have no problem with laws like that. It will keep me safe. It will keep you safe. It will keep the whole world safe. I think that it should be mandatory that when a new human being comes into the world, right away there in the hospital, DNA should be taken, put into that database. So when if that person comes up to be a criminal or a lawbreaker and leave his or her DNA on any scene and you get it, you're gonna know who that person is. Easy as that. It won't take you months, years, or weeks, months, years to find out who he is. Because once he leave that DNA on that scene and it's in that database, you're gonna know that that DNA belongs to that person. Well, I don't know if, being a baby, your DNA changes when it becomes an adult. So somebody could, advise me on that, because I'm not a doctor, but I'm just thinking that, this would be, a good idea to solve crime, Yeah. I'm talking about solving crime, and it should be mandatory for all human beings. DNA should be gathered, collected, and put into a database. So when people commit heinous crimes, you can easily find them. Yeah. Right? That's what I think. I know a lot of you guys may not agree with me, but some of us will say it's an invasion of privacy. But when the crime hit us, comes to our doorstep, that's when we're gonna think, that we should have rules like that. Yeah. So yeah, my people, that was my, my thought on those things. And, that's what I strongly believe in. So, I mean, you guys may not agree with me, but I think that is a good idea in going in a far way to solve crime. You know what I mean? Because I see in this country a lot of officers, unalive a lot of people, and then they simply go away and talk about they were in fear of their life. If you have technology like that, it will protect the officer, it will protect the drivers on the road. Because I go to work at 1 o'clock in the night, and sometimes, trust me, sometimes I'm scared, because you can never tell what those police will do with you out there when they stop you. I have to drive through a white neighborhood to get to work. You can imagine one of them pull me over on that dark road, and what he can do to me. And if he does that to me, who's gonna speak for me? Who's gonna speak for me? He pulls me over in a white neighborhood and at some dark road, and then he took away my life. Who's gonna speak for me? That's why I said technology like that should be in cars. So when he pulls you over, he's being recorded. Everything is being recorded. You are being recorded, he's being recorded. The minute you go into that car and you start the car, those cameras are in action. It can be done. And a lot of us will, disagree about it, but it's a good idea. It's a great idea. Protect everyone on the road. People who are driving dangerous, anything like that, when the cops pull them over, they cannot say the cops is telling lies on them, because even the cops' cars are going to have the same technology too. Every car that is made in modern times now should have that kind of technology. It may sound a bit harsh, when I speak about the DNA of babies being taken at birth. But think about it. Crime is a serious thing. Crime is a very serious thing. And if we want to solve it, those are some of the measures we have to take. Yep. Yes, so my people, I'm here, I'm alone in the house now. My son just went to work. So I'm here. I just decided I'm gonna touch a little base with you guys. You know, yeah. I'm not going to work tonight, at least I should say. Yeah, I'm off tomorrow, so I won't be at work until tomorrow night. Yeah. So I'm just taking my time and touching base with you guys and things like that. Yeah, so my people, I want to thank you all for, tuning into my lives and, watching my videos and supporting my channel. Thank you very much, very, very much. You guys have no idea how much I appreciate it. And your support means a whole lot to me, very much, yeah. So I just want you guys to continue to like, share, and subscribe, Tell a friend to tell a friend and, touch the notification bell. And also, I want you guys to make comments, I can take it. Whether the comments is bad, offensive or what, or good, I can take it. Because, it will help me to do better. So make your comments. Don't be afraid to make your comments. I won't be upset if you make your comments. No. I won't be upset. I'm a big man. I can take it. So make your comments. Yeah. Comments are good, so it keeps you on a level where you can correct yourself when, you guys said something is not going the way you like it or thing like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, my people. I'm looking outside. The rain is still falling. And the place is so clouded. Yeah. I'm glad for the rain anyway because, it washes the salt off the road because there's a lot of salt on the road that, and when you drive your vehicle in it, the salt, if you don't wash your car regularly, it start to rust beneath your car, So I'm glad for the rain, and it also melting the snow. I put some videos out today. If you guys look, you can see that the snow is melting very fast because we have 2 days of rain now, 2 days straight of rain. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, and then I want to touch a little bit on the dancehall thing. It's a lot of cuss going on in the dancehall thing. You know what I mean? Artists against artists, fans against fans, Yeah. The dancehall thing needs to clean up. We all love the music and things like that, but sometimes it's getting out of hand, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I see where Vybz Kartel and Movado is going to have a show in Malta. It's called Gaza and the Gully God Clash, something like that. I think that is a good look. Yeah, that is a good look. That's a good look for the for the genre. Yeah, you have two of the giants who are going to go head to head with each other, and I don't think it's going to be like enemy stuff. I think it's going to be friendly. You know what I mean? Because Vybz Kartel is not on that sort of ignorant stuff anymore. So I think it's a good look for the dance hall. Yeah. And I think that show is gonna generate a lot of money. Yep. Those two artists gonna walk away, smiling to the bank, all the way to the bank. Those two artists and their people, that show is gonna. I think it's a tour. Yeah, it's gonna generate a lot of money. Yeah. And one thing I would like to do, I would like a promoter to do. I don't think it will happen. It can happen, but I don't think it will happen. A show with Vybz Kartel, Movado, Alkaline, Popcorn, and Masika. All 5 of them on one show. And they not only perform individually, but at one stage, all 5 of them on the stage interacting and exchanging songs amongst each other. I think that would be the show of the century. What do you guys think? I know that would cost a lot of money to do, and the price of the tickets will skyrocketed. But I think that would be the show of the century. Yep, for dancehall, those 5 artists. Yeah, I would love to see a show like that, but I don't think it's going to happen. But it can happen. It can happen. But the only thing about that show, it would be extremely expensive. Yeah, I know that. Yeah. So yeah, my people, I'm just taking it easy here. I'm watching a little TV, but I muted it because I'm doing the live. I don't want the sound to capture it, because sometimes they play music and I don't want any. I'm watching YouTube and sometimes they play music. I don't want any copyright, to interrupt my thing, because you got to be careful with YouTube. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's certain things I don't do and certain things I don't say on YouTube because I'm a new, YouTuber. So I got to be careful, and what I do. I don't want to say certain things or do certain things, and sometimes I don't even repost other creators' stuff and things like that. I don't do those things, and when you make some videos, they say you can use certain music in the background of it. I don't do that either, because I see where someone did it, use of music. They said he could use the music, and he did it, and then he got flagged. So that's why I mute the TV, because I don't want the sound to capture in the live. Yeah. So yeah, my people, I'm here now. I'm gonna be logging out. So once again, I want to thank you all, for tuning in and watching. I just wanted us to, suggest those idea. I don't know if you all think it's a good idea, but if you think it's good or it's bad, just make a comment. I can take it. Don't be afraid to make it. Yeah, I'm big enough. I'm mature. You know what I mean? So if you make a comment, and whether it's good, bad, or whatever, I'll have to just take it and move on and try to do better for you guys the next time. Yeah. I know when I can get the time to travel out to Jamaica and other places, I don't want to go too far from the Caribbean, because a lot of war is going on in this world now. You know what I mean? You got to be careful. And if and when I'm traveling, I got to use my U.S. passport, because I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm going to need it to go out, and I'm going to need it to come in. First time you could, go out and use your Jamaican passport, but they get so serious now, because they're going to look at it, and they're going to, when you come back, you're going to need your U.S. passport. They're going to look in there and say, where is the stamp when you went out, So that's why I don't want to venture to any place right now, because of all of these wars that is going on. So I want, when I have the time to travel, I can go Jamaica and, the Caribbean islands and things like that, and make some videos for you guys. Yeah. I really believe that if I can, travel out, and I can do much better videos sometimes. Yeah. So that is my, my intention in the future. I want to do a couple more years, and then I retire, and then I have my YouTube channel to keep me young, keep me going around and traveling around and, making videos and things like that. Something to do when I retire, because I don't want to retire and then just sit down and, getting weaker and weaker, as you're getting older, you know what I mean? Muscles start to get weaker. No, I want to be traveling out, doing, walking there, walking here, because walking is good for you, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's my plan for the future. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching my live. And yeah, remember, make sure you keep your eyes on your children. Know where they are at all times. Protect them, love them, treat them well. when you are when you're at an age where you can't manage no more, if it's even one of them, will see you through. So with that being said and done, a data go on and water go on. See you guys in the next live.